Hello, I think I'm live. Perfect. So I'm just checking this sound and music. As always, you know me. Here's something fantastic. So how are you today? Hope you are well and ready for some code today. There is the camera. You see maybe that I changed the setup a little bit again. I hope that it doesn't has too much echo. All right. So, and what I did in the meantime before I started, wow, it sounds so weird. So empty here. What I did in the meantime is I executed my Flutter Doctor and already prepared everything so that we are up to date with the latest version of Flutter. And what I thought is that we maybe could change a little bit, because the last time we talked a little bit about design, right? We improved our front theme, our offerings. We made this nice little view on Figma here with that footer. And what I thought is maybe that we create today the contact us, or that we create the footer like it is down here. Because at the moment, if we are running the whole thing on our Chrome, we should see that it looks a little bit different. Oh, unluckily I have to download the web SDK first. That could take a second. So what I will do is I will create a poll for today, what we should focus first on. If we should focus on developing in Flutter, or if we should start to create more in Figma. Hey Stefan, nice to see you. Hope you are ready for today. Oh, I see right now that Matt had left the last poll open. Hey Flutterist, long time no see. Remove some stuff in the meantime. And here we go already. So this is our current state. Still beautiful, I'm still happy with it. Could improve a little bit, but should we create a new app? Figma or a new app? Okay. I don't know if you want to have a new app. It would be fantastic if you could write me the idea that you want to solve as an app. Then we can maybe start with that, true. And the Figma idea, yeah, what I don't like is to start without any plan, right? So writing some code without a plan is never a good idea. So if we would create, I think this way, we could create a little bit more of a design first. And then we could jump right into code. On the other hand, we have the footer already partially ready, I would say. You would like to learn Figma. It's a pretty cool tool actually, but it is like every other framework tool or mockup tool, which I really like. So, the Bigfoot footer. Should we name it like that? I think the name is pretty cool, so let's call that Bigfoot footer. Sounds also like a very fantastic mockup tool. Widget, I mean, at the end. The Bigfoot footer. Yeah, Flutterist, I used Adobe XD also a long time, but now I started that design course, and so they recommended Figma in so many good words that I had to change more or less. I didn't have a chance. Now for 1 week, okay. But I saw your designs, Stefan, so you don't have to hide with it. It works pretty well for you, I think. So in order to get the next part started, because I think our footer is ready so far, at least if IKS is not in the chat, because he has always some ideas what I can improve. So I would say that one is finished for now. So I would focus maybe on one of the next parts. So maybe what we can do is I can swap to a browser. I would take that one because we don't close it. And what we can do is we can search, for example, our recommendations, right? So what I have for that is in here, I created that nice little design folder with inspirations. So we have Mobbin, best modded web designs. And I'm switching at the moment very often between multiple browsers and also VMs, and so my fingerprints are getting changed between Windows and Mac and so on. So as always, if the keyboard shortcuts are not that smooth, please have in mind, have some faith with me. It's getting better. Oops. So, but what I would like to solve, where's now my screen here? What I would like to do is I would like to concentrate today then on this Figma part where we just talk about team and try to design that a little bit. Hey, Himanshu Sharma, nice to see you. I just want to take a look if I can improve the size of the chat a little bit, that I can see you easier. Maybe here? No. Is it possible to change your app into a web app? Yeah, most of the time it should be quite easy to test that. If you have already an app, so like for example you have an application for Flutter without the macOS and web folder, what you can do is you can try to switch your Flutter channel to master, and after that you just say Flutter create dot inside of the folder, and then he will create all the web folders and macOS folders, so you can try it to do it. So for example, if we go to our recipe app, this guy, I think it is at the moment not a web app. So if we check here, we see that there is no, oh, there is, unfortunate. Okay, let's assume they wouldn't be here because we wouldn't have created them already. So, and I would go now in the terminal and just say Flutter create dot. You will see that we get now a lot of messages. No, we will not. Because the problem is that we are using for this here the stable channel. So what I would have to do is we switch the channel with Flutter use master. So, and now we say f create dot. And now what we see is it creates all the folders like web and macOS, and you can try if your app is working right out of the box in Flutter macOS or Flutter web. And if you don't know what this F is or this FVM, I created a video for Flutter version manager. And I switch back quickly, not that Matab is angry with me that I tried to work here. And next step is to remove macOS again. Oh, I hope my internet connection is stable. I see that there is a lot of buffering. It's really not hard, at least not to test it. In the worst case, it doesn't work. So what I will add inside of the stream name is that we work on the design in Figma, so that everyone knows who's joining that this is more about designing again today. So, and I will close this save recipe. Close project. Cool. Fantastic. And let us know how it turned out. Maybe your app is in 2 days available in web or even on other platforms. But be careful, I think Apple has some parts that you are not allowed to have a similar app somewhere else. So if your web app is too similar to the normal app, you will get some problems. Thank you for the timestamp, Stefan. Okay, so what I search is a website. So for example, this guy. I search a website with a team inside so that I can show Mahtab and me. So I like these parts also very much, so that we have these different companies. And is there a team? No. Okay, so let's see if we find one. Small chat. Not really. Here we have some testimonials, so people who are telling good stuff about the people here. This could be a nice service layer so that we show on the left side an image, on the right side we write what we are offering. Upsell, lead management, conversion, email marketing. maybe it's not even good pattern anymore to make the team inside of your page, but I always thought that if you want to order something, you want to see who is behind the topic. If you have a good design or something, please let me know. Don't have to search so long. Okay, if I don't find it here, contact, get in touch. All products, Divi. About us. Ah, here we go. Okay, so they have an own website or own page where they talk about their company once more. So maybe this is a good option that we can say something like that. That would mean in our Figma, we wouldn't have this section here. Ah, I'm just talking about these different sections at the moment on the homepage. We have these offerings, so that the idea was that we offer here our products or what we offer, like for example consultancy or mentorship or help to people who are developer or one-on-one consulting or something like that. I think these two are more or less the same. And I search right now for a part that contains our team inside. Okay. And what I see right now is that this website, for example, has this separate page for the team. So because here we would have an image from me and Mahtab at the moment. So if, as an example, we can take a look at flutterexplained.org. And there is currently Mahtab's and my face on it. Ah, it's so slow. So here it is. So the idea would be something like that. So this section with about us, more or less, and then our faces with what we are doing and where we are from with our social media links. Hey Rexford, nice to see you. So let me try that to organize myself a little bit, to make myself more comfortable. Fantastic. Okay, so the easiest way would be just to copy this part, I think. Yeah, perfect, thank you. How about you? I had a fantastic morning, I have to say. I had the fantastic opportunity to make our finances at home. It was like a lot of work, a lot of accounting. So as you see, these one-pager or single-page applications usually have this nice little part on the top, which we have, right, with our image. Then they come with some numbers in that case, or some images, and then they call why to choose the part, and then they show their benefits that they bring. So I think we should do more or less the same with our website. It's getting interesting because I have no idea what I want to offer actually. I'm still working on that. So my business model is not yet completely turned out. But I see no team or something. I thought there would be more of that. So if we take a look down here, company support, testimonials, affiliates, time tracking projects. Okay. What I will do is, because I have the idea about these offerings and products, I will remove them for now. So this is our first part, right, that we want to show on our website. And I think for that, we are currently happy with that. Maybe this button here could be a little bit bordered. So like 5 pixels here, that's not too edgy. And down here, we want now to start with our how we want to structure our offerings. So the idea would be that we have an image on that side, I think, maybe not that big, so like this. And this will not be final at the moment. I just make a wireframe, you call that. So something that only contains out of boxes to see how it could look in the end. So don't worry. So I will make that a little bit brighter. Partially blue, something like that. So, and the idea is if this one is, for example, I would do that as exactly inside of these frames here, because we have this part. So, and that would be cloned on that side. And I would make them 240 bright, because this is our headline, and like 80 sized. That's maybe too big. 40 maybe? As a headline, more or less, so that you can see, okay, here would be something like offering one or something. Here would be maybe a subtitle, so we could increase that from the sizing of 620 is maybe too big, 480, something like that, and 20 of size, 30 maybe. And then we would have some text down here. Hey Nicole, hey Ambrush, nice to see you. Hope you don't expect too much today. It's just some design work at the moment. Maybe we will do more in the future. So, and this one is a bit too big. I think that would be our normal text. And then we would have some spacing again. And I would do the spacing here a little bit different, because that would be our normal text. So, like so. Very good, Ambrush. And you? I would take the titles float on the picture that spreads over the width of the page. All right. So you would do something like that, and then having these parts on top of it, right? That would be maybe a perfect idea. So I have a good idea what we could do there, because I have a favorite design pattern that I usually use. So maybe we can do that. So if this would be our image, right? Make that a little bit brighter so that we can see the difference. And now what we would have is, this would be full size, right? So something like that. And on top of that, we would have something like this, or in the center. We are working a little bit on the design of the website more. We finished last time the footer, if you remember. And now I'm just searching for a good design, how we go further with the website before we jump right into development. At least this was my idea. Hey Money. Slow moving video. The problem is, I think Flutter don't support yet HTML player, unfortunate. So it is quite hard and challenging to embed a video with Flutter Web. But actually we can test that by Flutter Web Video HTML5. Okay, I agree. Flutter Web. Video Player Web. Oh, there's a new package for that. When is this? Oh, it's already pretty old. Pub.dev, and then let's see. It's from the Flutter team, okay. Set the constraints, okay. The web implementation of video player. Ah, look at that, fantastic. No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. We can play videos. Maybe not in all browsers, but we just have to pass down the right video format. I think MP4 is the one, or H.264 is the one that we can use for everything. Yeah, sure. If you like, please share it with me. That would be fantastic. The best way, of course, in Twitter, you know, because here we can't post comments. So, and in the meantime, this is here. Where's my design on that side? Yeah. What I could also imagine is that we have something like on that side. And what I usually do with my rounded borders is always this wave effect, how I call it. So something like that, that we would have a full width of an image for consulting or something, and then we would have this on top of it with the text then inside. So with different layers of text, like I said, like 240 for the first one with a height of 60. Make this maybe a bit darker and not 60, maybe 40. And a subtitle. Oops. So, and the subtitle would be somewhere around here. Thank you, Stefan. Oh, you have a new profile picture. You always confuse me all over you. I think the last one was Raven, who also changed his profile picture. That was completely confused. So let's bring that over. It's so funny that I'm getting always thrown into the German version of a website. Man trailing Benelux. Oh wow, that looks nice with that nice little effect coming up. Ah, you mean these parallax pictures that you have one image in top and then you scroll down, you have another picture on down? Ah, that could be a nice solution. Could be interesting to see how it works in Flutter. That sounds also like a package that we could create. Hey Van Helsing, nice to see you. Search for missing persons, okay. And this is your website? Yes, sir. Nice. Like us on Facebook. The problem is I don't have a Facebook page, sorry. Mentoring the discipline education, our goal. Also with a calendar, nice. Has everything that it needs. Okay. So, but it looks a little bit different to that what I expected. So you have full-sized images. That would mean that for our case, for example, we would have one image up here. Then we would have like a part. Is it full width? Yeah, I think so, right? Yeah, it's full width. So we would have that part where we have the text then on top. Come on. And bring that in the center. And then we would have another image down here. So that would remove this also here to 0. Something like that. Yeah, it's just an idea. I just want to see how it reflects here on the image, on the website at the end. The thing is, for me as a user, what I would see here as a problem, if you have just one or two options, that's fine. Hey Ankit, nice to see you. Yeah. What holds me back of this idea? I don't know why, but something held me back. I think it's the animation part. On the other hand, it's quite engaging. I like that actually. Just a quickie, nice. For a quickie, it's amazing. Where is my page that I had open for inspiration? I just wanted to take another look there, because I think we found a lot of websites that are for such stuff. So maybe we find something that do something in the same area like me. So they do it with a single small image and a lot of text on the left side, and also with that icon on top. The good thing about this would be that we can add for everything as call to action, and they wouldn't have too much space in between. I think that's the only issue that I have. So the image itself is nice and keeps the people engaged, but I think we want to navigate them very easily to the different parts that they need. So that is more my thinking at the moment. So let me see, what could we do to improve that? So if I take, for example, Unsplash, and I would take 2 images, like for example, let's take something business. And I don't know, creativity. Here, let's take a light bulb. And what I hope what Figma can do for us is that I'm taking these images and put them or paste them here as an element. This could be actually on top of here. Stop. So it's now massive, but we will change that in a second. I just want to come on, see. So this is now something that I don't know. Adobe XD was there very good to post an image just where it is necessary. I think that's it, not? So that I could say I select this rectangular and I put the image inside. Effect stroke. Group selection, bring forward. Ah, this is how it works. Okay, fantastic. I think Figma will never be a problem, but the coding in Flutter... Yeah, I could imagine that this will take a little bit of time, that's true. Especially because I see a lot of stacks here. I don't know how this will turn out. So, and same thing would be here. We say place image, we select the other image, this guy, and place it on top of here. Cool. So, and then we would have our text here, for example, smaller text here. So 40, this we could do in a 30, exactly. It looks a little bit blocky, I don't know. This way, we increase that to 320. And then we would have maybe another text. Or multiple different texts down here. Like here. So, making the size here even smaller. So I think these images are a little bit too high. So let's explain, let's think about 300 max. Also this one would be 300. This way, select, 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 select. I think I can group them already. That would be our text area. For example, what would be a good opportunity? Let's say mentorship. So, bring that up, adding this image here. So, something like that. And then what we need is we have or should have a call to action. So even, I don't know if we need 3 lines of text, most likely we do. So that would mean that this guy getting a little bit lower, and we would have this section a bit bigger. Can I get that without moving everything? No? Okay. How can I... This is this. Ah, okay, this is the last rectangle. Okay. So... Because what we would have to have is like a call to action at the end. So we would need a button. Maybe not the best color in gray. Get this like here. And this would be something bluish. Okay, and then we would copy that more or less. So if this would be good and we would be happy with something like that, we would have like 1, 2, 3 of them. A color palette, I think we worked on that the last time and we didn't have one. So no, I think that would be something that we still have to generate. Let's see if I can create that here. No, this was not it. I think we talked the last time a lot about this topic. So how can I do that actually? So what I want to take a look into is plugins, because maybe we can have there a plugin that keeps us track of the... you just draw 5 circles. Okay, that would be the easiest way. So what we could do is making 5 circles, why not? And just keep them up here in a size that like 50 to 50. Hi Zaggy, nice to see you. Hope you are well. So the first color that we actually have is this dark blue. Then we would have a secondary color, most likely white, I think. And we have that bright color here. How many colors do we need for a color palette? I think not too much, or? Ooh, that ellipse is now broken. So... clean that up. So I think one color would be a basic white, to be frank. The color styles, so fill color. Five colors including text. Okay, so for text we also have already a color palette. So yes, we have actually a full-fledged color palette, I think. Fantastic. Now I'm a bit proud, I have to admit. So one would be black, or this dark bluish black. And then last but not least, we would have this light gray down here. This color. All right, so what I want to do just for myself is giving 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up. So. Sorry, out of topic, Max. Coding in Flow is one of the most requested person to teach Flutter because of his teaching style. Coding in Flow. Sure. I don't know what he is doing, but what is his name? Coding in Flow. I think I saw his Twitter handle, right? So this guy, I will subscribe him, and as soon as I have the time I will check some of his tutorials, but thank you for your feedback, Fan. So, you can make color styles for the whole project. Ah, I can? Add the fill color, the 4 dots button. Okay, let me check. 4 dots. Ah, this guy. Ah, nice. Create new color. Okay, so this is my primary color. Ah, I see, I like. Local styles. Ah, nice. Okay, so this guy, and we add this one. This would be our secondary. White, I think, makes a strong color in our toolbox because it is like the third or ternary color. Ternary color. This one is our primary text color. Okay, that's perfect. Thank you, Stefan. This is our secondary text color. All right. So you can see we have that now in our localized styles, and I think if I select something that I want to change as a color, so for example, I want to change this circle, I could just click here and select one of these colors. Nice. As I said, I'm not that new in Figma myself, so everything is helpful. Cool. So that means, how can I change that? I can switch down here to local colors or document colors, and then I can just switch to document colors and switch here and click the right color in it. Good. And then we would have also another image down here, I assume. Of course, these images are not final at the moment, so don't worry. So, and I will call them a little bit differently. That would be offering 1 and offering 2. And of course I did it exactly the wrong way. So, and these guys are our images. So, separator images maybe. Okay, and I think if we have 2 offerings, I'm already pretty happy. So with that in mind, then we have these separators. Big footer, navigation, cool. Then we just have to find the right pictures for that, and here the right namings or texts that we need. The question, do we want also to show off some work? I mean, this is now only offerings that I'm offer, but we don't have any portfolio, right? Things that I would like to show off. I think that would be also part of another page. Because if I check once more the other pages, where is my, go away. So for example, this guy, if we are looking here, we have this first page with that little video behind, some explanations, what happens. Then they show off their work here. Freelancer agency, okay, promote. Yeah, or what I also thought about is if we have this contact page and we would really copy that over. Let's make some space here. Together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Add this guy closer. That would remove a lot of stuff because we don't have that in our team page, more or less. And that would move up the footer because it would stick everywhere the same, right? No, or let it down first before we move something. And think about it. So we would have here again, an About Us page could contain what exactly? And first of all, rename that About Us. To the project page. Yeah, but I thought that we moved the Our Team section out of this part because most of the websites that I saw at the moment don't really have a team part, or if they have it, they also put that on a different page. Of course, they are now all products, but let's see if we find maybe an agency or something. Here, for example, 5x5 agency. No worries, Stefan. That's the good thing. Wow, that is nice, like that. I think I created also something like that. This is in the in CodePen, kind of. Is that responsive? Let us check. Have the web designer made a good job here? Yeah, I think. Ah, nice. It's getting in columns. Nice. Okay. Clients we serve. What we do, who we serve, about, who we are. Okay, so even they do an own page for the who we are part. And then with some explanations of the different people. I think I like that. With an own separated page. Yep, that's true. What do we do? Maybe they have some, look at that, they have also an own page for their highlights and so on. So we would find that there, I think, what they have done. This is not what I like, but I would say something like in that direction, so that we could show off, for example, our Jingo project that we did, or the stuff that we are working currently on. Good. And then what do we do? So this is that, and let's talk. And then they come to a contact us page. Okay, fantastic. Which I also like because it's very easy to use. Discuss options to meet, get ready for results. Nice. So how does it look here? So we'll get rid of this team here. So here you mean, right? Yep. I mean, I like the shadows. I'm not usually against them. The only thing is we will have to explain more our projects, I think, at the moment. I think they have a navigation into it, but they have also a lot of story and goal. Huh. Also a good idea. I like that page, I have to admit. Okay, but for us, this would mean we would have our offerings here in some kind. Then would our footer come by, and that would be first part of our main page. So our home page here would be finished at this point, more or less. And then we would have up here most likely a button like About Us. Yeah, it has a lot. As I said, it should be a full website at the end. So, and this about us, we can now go into the prototype, and I think we can connect these stuff. Select the frame or object in the frame and use the circular node to drag and connect. Okay, circular node, drag and connect. Animation, of course, not instant. We want to push. Yeah, something like that. Looks beautiful. Great job. Good. And this contact us would be moving there. And we keep it with the same pattern. Okay. And I think if we press this play button now on top, we come into this screen player, and then we can see the whole website more or less as it would be. So you can see now that this would be our website with some images, with the text, and down here we would have our footer. I think here in between there should be some white section or something so that it would not be that close to each other, but that would be our first goal. And if I press now here, you can see that we directly get navigated to the right position. So, which leads me to one problem, I think, because our footer at the moment is everywhere just copied, and these parts are groups. And why is that a problem? Maybe because if we make it as a group, then we have to, if we change it somewhere, we have to change it everywhere. So what I want to do is I want to remove these groups for now in these different parts, and I will copy one of them out. Now we'll bring it up here, maybe somewhere. Write some text first, or maybe some content. Still thinking. Perfect. It's always good that you have the same opinion like me, then I know I'm right. So this would be our components. This could be a bigger section, of course, but in this components part, I want to take this footer, for example. So I will name that footer. And I should get out of the prototype. And what I want to do is I want to do this as create component down here. And the good thing is now you have this purple something. Is it a bit too small maybe? I don't know. Okay. So the parts here, can you read that well? Maybe I can also increase that a little bit. I didn't thought about that, to be honest. So let me do that quickly. I think that makes sense. It's important that you can read everything. So maybe it's now better, but on the other hand, it could be also that it's cut off a little bit. So let me check. No, it looks quite good. And I think my webcam should be okay, or do you think it's in the way with the top part here? It's okay on iPad, fantastic. Whoops, moved my circle of the webcam. Or I can bring me down here. I think there is less clutter if we don't program. Cam was okay? More. All right. Just playing a little bit around. If it's annoying, just tell me. Down is also okay. All right, as you wish. I can move it as you wish. So if you think it's better down here, then okay, then let's keep it down and let's see if you complain that something is missing. Okay, so next chapter. So we made a component, and the good thing about components is if I change here something, so for example I move something inside of this component, it will be moved everywhere where we have this component used. So that means what I will do is moving that a little bit up, and instead of having this part we will have the component down here. And now this component up here and this component down here is connected somehow. So that means when I'm going here inside, and for example I would change that help and support to something else like help and support 2, and I click away and save the whole thing, and go down here, you can see it also recognizes it everywhere where we use that component. So with that, we have a little bit less work in the future if we want to change something at a specific part of the app, of the, what's the name? Design. Fantastic, yeah. So I don't know if we need even that up here with that components page. I think we could even remove that, because if this is a component, everywhere else it is a component too. So, and last but not least, bring it to the contact us page. Great. Okay, and here inside of the, this is a big footer, and I think that belongs to the home page. And should be on the bottom. And the home page could be a little bit bigger. And we would have some wireframe or something. A master component on the side. Okay, so let's do that again. Okay, so I created just a big container that has our master components in it. It's just easier to find for me later, and I think I made it a little bit motivated. So let's make it a little bit smaller and bring it down for now. But we will have more components in the future, hopefully, and then we will command them or keep them there as a combine. Okay. Yeah, I think we can also change some of these components, right? Some parts, so we can do that there too. Okay. So we did that. Office and services, portfolios. Yeah. So that would mean every one of these buttons would lead to what? To contact us? And if we, just as an experiment to see how it would look. So we take the second part here. I would just copy that over. And make it 100, yep, and also here. And if we call that homepage alternative. So, and instead of having this part with that nice little image here, so I will take that up. Get some gap or something. And then we would say we have this part here, bring it to the left, and organize it here and like that. And the same thing for these guys, but to the right, like so. How much space do we have here? 152, that doesn't sound right. So let's change that to maybe 150. And the same thing we would have for here. Good. And now what we could do is having some placeholders here, and that could be something like a Lottie file or anything. So it could even animate in the future. So if we remember this guy, for example, we could just pass that and, okay, put it a bit on top. Something like that. And would have something like this here. I think I don't even need an image yet. I could just create again here. A rectangle, width of 500 and height of something. It's a little bit too big. Something like that. It gave me problems with the prototyping afterwards. To have a master component or to not have a master component? I'm always surprised if I'm doing something like that so many people watching, because it's like 18 people are watching how I design. It's like, I don't know, it feels so weird. I like it, don't get me wrong, but so having some space here. To have a master component gave you problems in the design later. Okay. Oh, we will try. In the worst case, we have to solve the problems, right? Or do you have any recommendations what we can do better? 350, 350. Make it dark for now. Yeah, that's better. Something like that. And maybe, yeah. So, and here we would have the same part. And then we could do something like that. That we say, okay, these elements should having always the same spacing, like 50. And then we would swap between these. Ooh, how did I manage that? Ah, this guy is not inside. So, same as for this one. You are not. No. So we remove you again. Oops. This rectangle has hidden from me. You are belonging to this guy and you will go away. So, and we want to order them correctly, because else I will get always confused. And I see right now that we have offering 2 twice. Okay, that was the good one and this was the wrong one. So nice. You come up. And then we could copy this guy. I think there was a good, yeah. With the option key, I have the possibility to copy it easy. If you make routes in a prototype on a master, something gives problems. Okay. Okay, so you would recommend that we have one button that we can reuse everywhere, right? If I understand that correctly. So, just as a reference, this could be our other part, how we could solve the problem with showing our offerings. And all of these buttons could lead to another part of the application. But what I don't like is that we are different aligned. Maybe we should keep that left aligned in any case. Like so. Yeah, I think it looks better. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So of course this would be images or anything, like we have it not here, but that was the other page that we had, this harpoon page, I think. They created this. So you have this text on the left side, you have a button with the call to action, and on the right side you always have an image that fits somehow the possibility there. I like that they have 2 of them and then they always bring a testimonial. Maybe this is a good idea. So that breaks a little bit the, not boringness, but the flow of the website. We have offering 1 a little bit too often. So this is offering 3. Bring it down here. You are offering 2, that is correct. Where are you? You are offering 4. 1. Okay, we have twice 1. That's not good. So. So, and if we have these offerings here, the idea would be that we have also a testimonial part. Bring that a little bit down. These parts would move a little bit. And in between these parts, we would show always a testimonial. And a testimonial usually happens always with an icon of, or an gravatar, with an avatar, sorry. So we would have a nice little image. We will bring that later. And then again, some text. Not text in this sense. We would use it like here. Bring it up. Maybe like 3 lines max. So. How long? Maybe 600. And one last line where usually it's something like that, this and this guy has said that. Like so. Now it's getting a little bit big, I think. Hmm. 78, no, this should be different. It should be... Maybe it's too less space now. I think 100 is the minimum. Like so. And you should be also 100. Like so. If you have any recommendations, let me know. I'm just doing something right at the moment. But I think it's always good to have options, or to see at least options, because with that we have this testimonial part. Voila, I grouped that for quickly. So this would be our testimonial. And this would also solve our problem with the spacing, I think. What that means is, if we use now our footer right after this testimonial, it doesn't look ugly anymore. Not necessarily. On the other hand, we could also keep some spacing here, just to make sure that we have space. Bring that a little bit up. I should have become a designer, I think. Okay, and the good thing is now what we can do, in any case, which site we approach, we can give that a name now, for example, so that we say, for example, this is homepage. Let's get a creative name. 1. And the other fantastic and creative name that I have is homepage super chat. Fantastic. So, and because I'm so super creative, I would now give you the opportunity to vote for one of them, and I would let this vote running till the end, and then we can decide which approach we should follow, more or less, that we can try a little bit around. And maybe you have also a third option that you would like to see, then we can work on that too. So let's do that. Which design should we use? Which homepage design should we use? Right? So 1 and super chat. And start. Cool. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for a result, or at least for the whole day, I think, till we are ready here, we are waiting a little bit for the result. We can think about how we would do that About Us page. I just created one of this. What we should also think about is the navigation bar, because in any case, the navigation bar at the moment is not existent. So we had the first idea of doing something like this, which is not too bad, I think, with the normal texts, right? And we had this light and not light part, but I don't know how well this would look like here. So we have the selection colors, bar through, about us. So let's check what we have. What are examples? So this using just the main color here. I don't know, they have the primary color green and then, or is it green? Yeah. And then secondary color is blue, I think. Vote, vote, vote. So you know how you can vote? You make exclamation mark, wrote vote, and then your vote that you give. So I think you have the options 1 and super chat. So I can try if I can show you how it works. So vote 1, for example, or vote super chat. Damn, of course it votes also for me. Ah, that's also very interesting to see the first time, because if I vote myself, not only that my vote gets counted, but if I change my vote, it's also working. So if you write exclamation mark vote and you change your opinion, it still is accounted for. So let's change that again. Because I have to admit, I like the super chat mode a little bit more. It's just not easier to implement, but I think it looks a little bit sleek. Of course, the background here could be anything, right? That's just an idea. Okay, so back to the navigation part. So how usually look a navigation in different websites? So here we just have the text with this, I want to call it super menu, that there is something opening up whenever we move our mouse above it, like a hover event. And then we have pricing, testimonials. What do we hear? We have here also this super menu where we have the mouse hovering and then getting this nice little menu below. At least I call that always super menu or power menu is a good name. I think, do we have something like that? So if I'm searching for power menu, no. So maybe also this would be a good package. Fluent, okay, never heard. Android Power I Explode, Hasura Connect. Interesting. Let's talk. Yeah, that's just a button. I think that would be exactly what we want. So let's talk would be the part that we want to navigate our users always to. So whenever we have the chance, we should navigate our users to contact us, because yeah, as an agency or a consulting company, it's always important to talk with people. Float somewhere on the top of the or the left. Okay, I think I saw from Phil Stacks, he has a fantastic website that I admire, I have to admit. Website, Phil Stacks, I think here. So he has the navigation on the left side, which I really like, and you can scroll beautifully and you don't have any issues here. So tags, where we have all the different tags here inside, tutorials, we can see all of that, subscribe on YouTube. So I think that would be something. I also like that he has all his tutorials so good ordered. He's just amazing, really. He has so many good tutorials. Dane Mac here, yeah. Cool. So enough of the advertisement, but I really like his menu. So that would be maybe an option that we could do. But the problem that I have is it is very good for tutorials and it is very stylish, but I don't know how good it performs as. The problem is we are here, or I am here in Germany, and if I'm searching German customers, I have the problem, or I think that they will be very established companies like enterprise customers and so on. So I think they will come easier with something that is on top than on the side and be very fancy. So I think on the left side, I don't know how I can imagine that. So that would be, Hey AKS, nice to see you. Oh AKS, you can send me once more your website that you had in mind once for us, because I want to work on the navigation bar at the moment and search some inspirations. So as a menu bar, that would be on the side, right? We would have that on the whole screen, I think. So the full 1080 pixels, and the width would be something around 150 for example. No, maybe too much. 100 maybe. so that it doesn't blocks the screen in any case. And that would reduce the sizing here. And in that navigation bar would be everything that we need, like subscribe all or anything. So the problem is such a navigation I would always recommend to tools where you have to navigate very quickly and very frequently. And this is not the case in our part, I think. On the other hand, if we do the same thing and just copy that here, bring it to the side, so, and copy that part, and would say, okay, we don't have it here, we have it on top. Whoop. And this would stick on top, of course, so that means if we are, let's go to the big side, so if it would be, for example, here, wrong buttons, bring that over here, so that would be always overlaying. Or let float. Yes. So I think the floating is very important, right? So what I would do actually is I would create there a little animation. I don't know if you have ever seen a Bootstrap website or a Bootstrap navigation. Let's see if I can explain it with that the easiest. But that's not it. I think they have some cool examples with this animated sticky bar. No. No. Sticky footer. Fixed navbar. Okay, here this is getting no. I don't find it, of course, when I need it. But what I want to see, what I wanted to show you is that these navigation bars sometimes getting a little bit smaller. In Figma there is a sticky navbar. So how can you? Okay, is that a plugin or something? Or a library? Sticky navbar. Let's see if we find a plugin for that. Installed, and how can I get more? I think here. Sticky navbar. Bottom navbar, hero section, essential UI. Ah, okay. So here. On the side I can also group these guys to something called color palette. Or I don't even need them anymore because I have the colors anyway here. So on the right side, you can check the tools for box on the right side in properties of the box. Okay, so I choose any box, so this guy for example, and then we have the properties of the box, prototype code, so I assume effects maybe. No, this is drop shadow, inner shadow, fantastic, stroke, nope, export, map, overlay, no, this is color stuff. Can just keep that on pass through. Let me check where my box is actually. I thought, didn't I brought it over? Forgot about it. Something like this. So, hey Arvin, nice to see you. I will look it up. All right. Sorry. Center, fixed position when scrolling. Maybe this is the point that you want. So that means if I'm prototyping and I'm... Yep. So if I prototype and I would start this one. No, this was of course now the... this is not right. Currently the homepage 1, we would have to prototype it by selecting, for example, this guy to the super chat one. Cool. And play. Something like that. Okay, so 150 is way too big, of course. But what I could imagine is, this is the wrong page. I think this one is 100. I think 100 is way better. So we would have that in 100 height. And most likely in the wonderful color of white. Aravind, no space between exclamation mark and vote. But everything else looks fantastic. Hey Papadon, nice to see you. I hope you have some design skills and bring them with us. We need them today. Okay, so I will remove the drop shadow. I think we don't need that here. And the other part would be strokes. Somehow I added a stroke, so get away. Cool. Big fan. Great. Love that. I love fans. Something completely new to me because I'm still not getting used to it, that I have some people who watch me all the time. It's a very weird feeling, I have to admit. But it's pretty cool actually that people like what I'm doing, so that's pretty good to know. So if this gets a drop shadow, we also don't look too ugly, I think. So if I'm navigating, we would then have this part. At the moment it's a little bit too big, in my opinion, still. So if we have that on scrolling, I don't want to get the full screen of it. So it should not distract the users too much. So it would be maybe the half of it. I don't know, it's getting maybe too small, but let's check that out. Oh, fantastic. It's also good. The interesting thing is that I work usually with a lot of designers, so my knowledge comes mostly from Christian McDixon. He is a very good friend of mine from New Zealand. He makes currently world travel, so maybe some shout outs to him. The navigation bar transparent, so slightly transparent so that we can see only a fragment of it. We can try that. Maybe it looks good. So 60% maybe. So can I say go away? Okay, so we would have this guy, and what I can imagine is that we have this bar on the top, and then we have a little bit of an animation that just prints it together, and then we just see the rest scrolling all the time. Please make a live series how to make an app with API. Okay. So you want to have written an API yourself, so that means like Aqueduct or a backend server that is running. Papadon, we have created a getting started guide on this channel where you can get started with Flutter actually, very easily, hopefully. Whoops, I'm late. Wilson, no worries. There is no too late. We are working on the design, which takes hours and hours, so fantastic. Okay, but now we would have that scrollable. I don't know, is there... I missed your question. No, I did not. I think... You're a beginner in Flutter and can I give you some advice? Well, start learning, stick with it, and check out our videos about getting started. MATLAB created their fantastic guideline, I think, with a lot of nice tutorials that you can take a look into and so on. It's pretty cool. Okay, but enough of own advertisement. Let's think about further. How can we create nice stuff? No worries, that's all good. So we have all these parts, we have the testimonials, we have this. Okay, so for everyone who is maybe new and want to vote, actually we have two possibilities. This is our homepage 1, where we just created images in between of our offering sections. And here we have our homepage super chat, where we have the possibility to have these two things as our offerings and products, and then always a testimonial in between. Set up grid pro layout. So like that. What do you mean with grid layout? Like here with home and then home, and I think they have also a grid somewhere. Layout, whoops, grid. True, Stefan. So I think we have already a grid, or do you want to have an 8-column grid, or what actually do you want with a grid? So should I just add more to it? Like so, and then bring also here another one. I think this is a mistake. Here. And here, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Fantastic. I'm very proud. Thank you, Papa. No, with free REST API. So with any REST API, okay, should be possible. So that means we will arrange now everything by this grid, or what is the idea, AKS? Help me, I have no idea. I didn't create a bot for the YouTube channel. That is from Streamlabs, which is a tool for YouTube. So for creators like me, that I can just use them because I'm too lazy to learn too much things. And if I have to create also these bots, I think that would be a nightmare to do. Actually, I think that is done by the Streamlabs team via the YouTube API. I think if I press command, yeah, I can also move that around. I should have created components, I think, also for this, so I didn't have to move it around like I do now. Yep. Grid navbar. Ah, now I understand. This is a specific type of a navbar. Layout grid basics. Apply a layout grid to any frame. Multiple grids on a frame. Okay, all right. So that sounds a bit easier. That's true. So that would mean that I can just select this, and then I have a layout grid here, and then I could say something like columns, and I would just make that to 8, for example. That would solve a lot of problems, I think. By convincing them, Don. I think a lot of my customers, for example, I convinced them by just telling them about Flutter and my passion about it and why I was so passionate about it. And as soon as I could show them some examples of my work, a lot of them wanted to work with me together. So you just have to talk with people and have to be confident. And don't hope that anyone will do it for you. Oh, I think the last 2 rules I will keep. So I don't have Instagram. I don't have Instagram and Facebook, so sorry, but Twitter. Always follow me on Twitter. I think grid is, I think Flexbox is the part that is the bootstrap killer or not. I think that Flexbox was the HTML part that solves all the problems. This guy. And grid is one part of it, I think, if I have that correctly in mind. So yeah. You see, I know something. It's less, but I know it. Okay, but anyhow, how does it help me now with my problem regarding to the navigation bar? Nope. Okay. If I have this grid 8 columns, stretch center, no, that is not it. Margin, is that it, what I mean? Yeah, fantastic. So what would be if I have here 120? That's it, I think. This is exactly what I want. I had a time where I don't even had WhatsApp, so I only worked with SMS, which was horrible for my friends, I have to admit. But now, yes, I use a lot of WhatsApp at the moment. Go to, okay, let's search what we find. But the problem is I cannot watch a YouTube video while I'm streaming. At least I don't think this is allowed. I'm not sure. Never tried it, to be honest. Okay, so let's watch. Grid navbar Figma. Left navbar UI design, setting up your grid navbar.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be exploring the left navbar construct and kind of how to set it up inside of your Figma file. So I just did a quick search here for dashboard because this is typically where we...
Does it have to be left side or can I do it everywhere? Design the navigation bar in Figma. Figma tutorial layout grids. What exactly do you mean? Because I'm searching now a bit weird. So I mean, I know how these layout grids work. I have seen that. So how is the other thing? Okay. So what I want to do is I would like to take this navigation bar on top and here, for example, and we'll create a component out of it here somewhere. Up. So, or do I? Yeah, I think that makes no sense. So let's create an element for that. Desktop. Thank you, Samuel Alim. I will take a look into. Hey Xaxa! Sorry for that you didn't hear about the giveaway. I hope you are not too disappointed. And here we have that now, and we want to add a layer grid. And why do we need this 10 pixel part? So around 100, I think. So So we said that we want to have that at 57 at somehow. 75. I think we can take that grid with us. Alvin, not so much actually. There are so many good hosting possibilities that you can use. For example, GitHub Pages, which I use usually. Then what I use at the moment is CodeMagic's one, because I integrated in our build pipeline. So if we check Flutter explained what is it, codemagic.app, you will find this guy. Then you will have Heroku, of course, which is always working. You could use Firebase hosting, which is also fine. Do I have any other? I think all of them are absolute valid and can be used as long as it's for free. I think today you don't really have to pay anymore for hosting if you don't want to have it super fast. Yep. So back to our process. We wanted to add a navigation bar. I missed your question again. No, you don't have WhatsApp. So how do you community if you want to some file from? That's a good question. Usually I don't get files from them, hopefully. And then, I don't know, maybe per mail or sending them by Discord, for example, would be also an option, or Space, or depends how much I work with them. Okay. I think that grid is really annoying. Columns, rows. So, and what I would like to do is now thinking about how we can add navigation. So this would be one option. This one was a good one. I like that a lot. Let's talk. So if I start with the Let's Talk button, for example, we would have maybe a component here with a height of 50 in that case, with the beautiful color of primary. The button would be maximum of 150 or something on that side. And then inside of this rectangle we would have some text, for example, contact us. Yep, fantastic. So, some space here, moving that a bit into. Arrange that here, fantastic. Now a grid could be helpful if I'm adding that as a column, and say we have, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 4. That would make it, for example, 12, and a margin of 120. So this button would have a maximum space like this. Sure, you can use Adobe XD for that. Just because I have to learn more Figma, because I'm doing at the moment a design course, you have all opportunities there. Just because I currently work with Figma more, I'm using Figma here. But I think most of the stuff is also possible in Adobe XD. So, I'm living in Germany, actually. Height of 40, where's the size? 32, I think it's quite large. How big is their button? Let's talk. Oops, a little bit too mobile. Let's give them some space. Yep. So how large is their font sizing? Get started. Color, decoration. Font family, font size is overwritten. 14, 14, 14. Line height 1.7. Yeah, I lucky. Font family, font size 12. Okay. So that would mean they have here the font size of 12. Voila. Oof. Oh, that's microscopic. Okay. Something like that then. What's better? I think that's like state management question. You will not get the perfect tool at the end. I think both of them have their pro and cons. What I really like about Figma is that it is in the cloud at the moment and it's way easier to work with. The dark web series? No, I don't think so. I think I have to make the music a little bit more quiet. It's super loud at my place. Or I change the music, it's maybe even better. Sure. What do we want to hear? Happy, pop, chill? Let's have some chill. So, both? No, I don't know what both means in that context. Okay. So now we would have that, and then these parts will always take 2 levels maximum. And if we take a look how big they are, and font family, this is always 12. And how about the size of them? Not the size, the boldness. They are dark. Please guide for layout in Flutter. What exactly do you mean with layout in Flutter? What I can recommend you is the course that I'm doing at the moment from Design Code. They offer a nice little tool from here, I think. The design system. So I thought that was already in the free that image where you can here. So these are some designs that I usually see at the moment for front ends, for mobiles, I think. Ah, the travel, yeah, dark. I know now what you mean. I just saw the first 2 seasons or episodes from it actually. I don't know why, but it didn't hook me at the beginning. I don't know why. Upper cases, okay, that's something that we could use. Letter spacing, line height. Here's the computed, fantastic, way easier. So font weight is 400, okay, so it's quite slim. Okay, so that would mean we would have here also a, I don't know, what was the buttons? So an about us, for example, and that would take 2 of these frames, would be 12, line height 1.7, centered, all uppercase, about us, and also here that would be contact us. But if I have this, I could maybe halve also the columns, right? If I know that we have always 2 columns. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Slivers and so on. Okay. Slivers is quite an interesting topic. Rupo contact in... what means Rupo? Okay, good to know, Papadon. I will try that. Ah, connect us. Yeah, connect us is not good. Contact us. Thank you, Stefan. The typo in typo. Okay, so we would have about us, which would be not on that part, I think. move it over there, I think. Somehow I copied it. Cool. And then we would maybe have also something like about us, contact page. I don't know, is a home button still a thing? I don't know. I don't see it anymore, so I think not. Most of the people would just click on the icon, I think. Ooh. Now it's the navigation on the left? Ah, because they have this video to have more space there. If on their homepage, they move the navigation on the left. Interesting. Home button is the logo. Okay, fantastic. So then I will bring the logo over. And make it a little bit smaller, I think. Check. Something like that. It would be gigantic navbar, or if I see that here. Hey, Haslantai, how are you? Did you had already fantastic new interviews in the coming last days? Can we reduce that spacing here? What is that? No, this is just the visibility. Stretch left the gutter. Ah, yeah, the gutter. Okay, so we could reduce the gutter a little bit and maybe have this as a 12. We could give that. Organize that in the center. Getting this about us on the next part. Yeah, I think that would look better. Okay. Perfect, good to hear. You start to love Figma, fantastic. I didn't thought it as well because in the beginning I was team Adobe XD a lot of times, you know that, and it slowly moved. We'll reserve what we do. It could be like our work, maybe. What do we want to also show? Contact us, we have already. Our work, about us. Who we are, culture, who we serve, what we do, and insights. Our offering would be good. Something like this, and we would have some space for the contact us part, and the logo needs to go further to the left. Good. Okay, and if we remove now the rulers here, I think we can just remove that. That would be our... Ah, now I lose it completely. Oh, that's unlucky. Columns, I think I had it on 10. No, 12? With a gutter of 10. Was it 14? Nah, I forgot the margin. there are not much jobs for Flutter developer. Is it true? Well, I can just talk about Germany, and at the moment I know a lot of people who are really searching for people who work in Flutter environment and especially have knowledge about infrastructure, how to create applications. At the moment, just few people search for desktop or Flutter. Desktop and web, but most of the people searching for Flutter mobile. And if you have additionally some experience with native development in Android or in iOS, especially in iOS, then you will find very quickly a job, I assume. So, and now we could make that fixed. How would it look like in the prototype? Weird. Why is it looking so weird? Do I have zoom or something? Ah, I fit scale down to fit. Okay, now I got it. That's it. Okay, so and it would look like that more or less. React Native, really? I don't know, but in Germany, or at least what I know, a lot of developers really don't feel well with React Native. Oh, I have to be careful what I'm telling now, because I have strong preferences against everything that has to do with JavaScript at the moment, so it's quite difficult for me. Okay. So we navigate to our page, and now if I'm scaling that to the width, it would look like this. So first we would have that underneath, and after a while we would change that to this floating header. So maybe give that a drop shadow or something, just to make it more stand out. No, Stefan is not a Streamlabs bot. Stefan is a friend of mine who's in Netherlands, and he's a moderator here on the chat. Flutter specifically, Dart and WebAssembly, Rust and languages like beep beep. Yeah, and I think also even C# has now an upstream in web development called Blazor. So everything that is strongly typed is a favorite language of mine, and I'm trying to get rid of everything else. So JavaScript is at the moment at the bad side of me. Even with TypeScript, it has still a bad foundation. You bot don't lie. So, but it looks already pretty valuable, I think, even though I thought that would look a bit more ugly, I have to admit, with the navigation, but it looks very fancy. But what I think is that this one is a bit too big. Your digits are flipped. I knew it, Stefan, I knew it. Okay. So, and what we can do now as next, I don't know if we can make animations here in Figma. Because what I would like to do is having this part only when the other one is not visible. Ah, I have an idea. We can make that. I have an idea. So this guy is at the moment completely on the top, and it's called desktop. Ah, I have, oh cool. I have now something below something. Interesting. Can I move that around? Yeah, but then it's not sticked anymore. Fixed position when scrolling. Can I? No, I cannot. Okay, unfortunate. Ah, what I could do is putting that, nope. I could put this guy a little bit higher. Or can I? No. No, anyhow, I think that should work. But what I would like to do is this contact us button is a bit too big, I think, in general. So what I will do is I remove that once more, moving over to our nice little navbar here. And what I want to do is reducing the grid. I think it is too big. And maybe even... so, and then I want to move that. I don't know, it's too large, maybe. So if I would make that to this grid, I think that would be a bit too small again. On the other hand, at the moment I have this one anyway too big, so what would be if this is 30? Edges and the size, okay. Yeah, so let's make it round. And then we bring the services over. I think that would live there. Our work here. About us. And now what I want to do is the background of this one, this rectangle, should be white. And now I see that this guy is completely misaligned, so. And these guys are not in the center. Nope, till here, should be centered. Good. So, and just looks a little bit better, yeah? At the moment I just see always this, now it's better. Yeah, this makes sense. Way better, like it. Everything is moving. How you feel for jQuery? I love jQuery, best package in the world. I would highly recommend it to everyone. I worked with it years and years and years and I loved it, and I really hated every project where I had to remove it because it was the worst task that I ever have done where I had to remove all the jQuery stuff. So would I recommend it to use it still? No. Now the menu item that display options. So you mean these guys? So if we would have something underneath of it. Let me show that once more. It looks a bit off, or? Still jQuery in your office. I think how do you call it? I applied once for, or what means once, a year ago, I applied for a company, and they also told me a lot about their jQuery stuff that they did and how cool it is and how fancy, and this is the way to go and it will be the newest technology. And I was like, nah, not in this life anymore. So now the menu items. So at the moment we don't have that, but if we would have something like that, so back to here, we would increase that a little bit. And if we move with our mouse on top of it, I don't know how to easily deploy that. I think if we keep that small, it would be good to replicate this guy. So navbar, and then we call that with options. Display of options with icons. Now the menu items. Like so, with these icons here. You are so funny. To be honest, the first channel that I wanted to do was an entertainment channel, but I decided against it. Because sometimes I'm very funny, but sometimes I'm just annoying, so I couldn't choose what I should do. So let's make that a little bit bigger, I would say, something like this. Display of options with icons. I'm not sure what I read here. Now the menu items that display options. If you need drop-down lists, yes. Okay, so this, yeah. Find out of display icons. I don't have yet one. I have a a Twitch account that I once created, something like old people playing or something. In prototype. So if I press prototype, drop lists in navbar, you must make the drop down as drawings and afterwards navigate to it. Okay, so I can make this navbar as a drawing. Show prototype settings. Show prototype settings, start frame. Ah, here I can choose the start frame. Okay, device, I don't care. Use play button, okay. Creating a connection, running for prototype. Ah, is this a drawing here? No, this is a frame. You have to draw the drop-down list as a component. Oh, and then navigate to the component. Okay. It's interesting to keep two things open. So transfer-wise. I do that in the meantime. So what is transfer-wise? So we have these, this is not German, but... So that's a very big icon on top and then a lot of text here. I don't know if this is a good option. Okay, but no problem. I can try a bit around. So that means if I'm clicking on this, no. Do I have to click then? If you need to drop down it, you must make the drop downs as drawing and afterwards navigate to it. Okay. So that would mean I have to navigate from this frame to this frame if I hover. So if I move prototype, I would click on about us and then this would open up. I can even make it on hover. Ooh, while hovering. Ah, and then I cannot navigate, I don't have to navigate here. I could navigate to that part. Only the option to deploy. What means deploy? Ah, you mean that rectangle here, or? Menu display. Ah, you mean with the outline bug? Yeah, the downward aura icon I can copy, that's no problem. That makes also a lot of sense. Sorry, I'm just getting confused today, I don't know what's wrong. Okay, let me remove quickly this guy and we would navigate to here. Here we would have this, and now I could, with options, I would design getting rid of this for now. And then I don't know, I think a smaller one would look better. So here we go. Like so, I don't know. And then maybe instead of about, oh, let's keep about us. It's just an idea. We would have something like this. How would it look like? I think the insights one, how did they do it? They just had who we are and culture. After that, we look for a menu display according to design and purpose of the page. Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. We can just keep that for now, and I will add that error because I think that makes sense. So where do we get the icons? I think we have that here. So do we have a cool icon to the bottom? This is feather. Mm-hmm. So if we are here, assets, yeah, and search for arrow. Mm-hmm. U, and I think we had also the other one, right? UFL here. Arrow right, arrow left. That would be this guy here. Here we go. You can design a drop-down list outside the design, like the navbar and the Bigfoot. Oh, cool. Okay, so let me quickly try that. So we bring in the arrow. The arrow would be here. So you mean I don't really have to create all of that? I could just create this guy. I could remove that. And then I could do, I don't know if I have this part. And I could say something like, if we hover above services or this guy with the prototype, then we navigate to that guy. Go, navigate. No, I have to make this as a drawing, you said, right? What is a drawing? Yes, just. Okay, so I need a frame most likely. And this guy inside the frame. So drop down services. Voila. Voila. And now we say that this is not click, that would be while hovering. Navigate open overlay. Overlay would be centered, why not? Top left, top right, manual. And instant, let's say move in, no, let's say dissolve. Can I? Open overlay, swap with, close overlay, open link. Drop down service contact. Drop downs. No, this is the page that it should be visible. Now we have these drop down services. Okay, then now before I do anything more, I just want to jump right away to the navigation bar and I would start our test. So let's do that in width. And if I select now, okay, so it's overriding at the moment. Because it's not a full page most likely. But this will change in the future. So if I copy that whole guy, I would remove that while hovering part, just get rid of it. Design. I think we have at the moment the one in the super chat here. So let's copy this navigation bar on top of here. So then we would select this guy and this guy, prototype it. Getting this guy. No, that's wrong, unfortunate. Yep. While hovering, open overlay, drop down service. So many texts, sorry. I take out button, service button and put it in before. Right now I'm looking, okay. Yes, just created, yes. You can also make it adjust the length of the list according to the number of items. Not always clear. No worries, that's all good. I mean, we are figuring that out. I love that you helped me. That is fantastic. It would take me more time if I have to understand everything myself, you know? So we have this, we make this into action. So now let's try it. We move now as a first part into the super chat and click on it. Options, fill, no, the other one, width, okay. So that works now. So if I scroll and I hover here, now at the moment it's the top right corner. I'm not completely sure what you mean with the, we can count that somehow. I don't know how this should work. That should be also something on the prototype, right? So here at the moment I'm selecting tops right. We can make it manual. Ah, and now I can select, ooh, nice. Something like that. So that means if I'm clicking now in, width, and I'm hover, cool. That's of course just an idea of how it could look like, but I really like that. Thank you, Stefan. And I think with the animations later, it looks also more created. And maybe we have to, or what we could also do is giving that whole thing a little bit of a shadow. Go away. So that this doesn't look too empty here. Drop shadow. Cool, that would be 2. That would be -2. I would have like a blur of 5 and a spread of 3. And here 40. Something like that. And increase maybe this part here. Oops. That was not quite correct. My drop shadow is a bit wrong. So how would that be? We want to have it on the bottom, right? So 0, and then from here on a little bit down. The blur should be less, and the spreading should be less. Here's a shadow, there's a shadow, on top is no shadow. Here's an order service about us and other. I will eliminate our work and replace it with another service about us and other. So what do we have at the moment? We have about us, our work, then we will leave. So you would remove our work and you would only keep services about us and contact us. And the about us would maybe have, or service first. Okay, yeah, okay, got it. So let's check that out. Yeah, I think it makes sense because services are mostly more important. I'm bringing them to the front. Our work you would remove, right? Mm-hmm. So, and this we can also group in a selection, which we call services. Are you happy now? Fantastic. Great. So we have that, and can remove this guy. So prototype, then we would select the services this time because it's easier. Inside here. Move that over to this guy again. There you go. Okay, yeah, I can imagine. I think it's quite hard to bring such advanced tooling into Figma. But maybe it will come in the future, especially if Flutter is more and more in common, or people use more and more Flutter. Good. So this is now... Ah, it's not fixed anymore. Ah, forgot about it. Assign fixed position on scroll and play. Width is okay, so now we have this part. Cool. Can we make a background of a frame transparent? I think that should be possible, or if I select that and currently, yeah, just make it 0. Great. Yeah, way better. Okay. That's quite some useful tips. I think I can reuse them often, and my music is killing me. What is going on? So, a little bit chill music. Up. So. Okay, but we made quite some progress, I think. So let's have a look what the poll says about our homepage, which one we will implement in the future. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just need a good reason to start with something to get better and better, right? So I think these guys we can delete. This is just an image. Here we have at the moment homepage. These are 2 homepages. I would like to organize a little bit more. So the About Us page will be down here. Then we have our Contact Us page. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And the navigation can stick here. And the drop-down services too. So. Yep. And selecting this guy. Drop-down services, fantastic. Here we go. So back to our poll. Where is it? Here we go. Uh-oh. My Streamlabs is lagging. I just hope that still the video is going, so it looks positive, but who knows? Yeah, as you may have maybe have seen, I rearranged everything here in the room, which helps me a lot with streaming and so on. So let's go. Good. Okay, so everyone is for super chat. That's good to know. Fantastic. So I will close the poll for now. I will complete the poll for now so we don't lose that. Which means this homepage 1 is at the moment a little bit deactivated. So I bring that over here and this will be our main website. I don't know if we directly have to hide it, but it will be just no vote. So good. So about us, we have these 2 parts here, which we can reuse. We have created this nice little navbar now that we can reuse everywhere, which we also should do to a component, I think, right? So what we can try is making this navbar here, all of that to a component. Create a component, call that navigation bar, and it's a bit weird that inside that rectangle is part of it, right? Yeah, go in. Yep. So, and then we can use this navigation bar in different places. I think we can remove that. Good. We bring it over here. Why is that rectangle not really visible? That's a little bit odd. So if I select everything, that rectangle on the bottom is not part of it. Maybe when I created the component, it was not part of it, and now it doesn't calculate it with. Well, let me scroll back when I didn't have the component. Good. So now we select all of this and now create a component. Navigation bar. Can reuse it, bring it over here. Now it's better. Okay. This 0, fantastic. Now I think we have a navigation bar here and can remove all of this stuff here. I think we don't even need this. We can remove the whole part here. Whoop, you can no longer vote. Yep, it's easier to make first a group and then the component. Then you are sure to... interesting, okay. That shaded line under the menu is not necessary. It dirties the design, confuses and stresses the client's mind. You think so? To be honest, I would say exactly the opposite. I mean, here, yes, maybe, because it's very strong. I think we can make it lighter. But if we keep it completely away, so if I remove the shadow here, is it this one? I think it's that rectangle here. So if I remove completely the drop shadow, I think it looks like cut off, if this makes sense. So it doesn't feel like the website is really belonging. Or does that every website does? And I just didn't see it. You see, even there, as soon as we're getting a little bit scrolled, it has nothing. And as soon as I start scrolling, and then the background starts. With that, it's invisible, which I like, but after we have scrolled a little bit, I would elevate it, if this is okay for you. So back to the component here, and I would create a little shadow. Okay, yeah, we can also make just a stroke if you think a line would be helpful already. Maybe we can just make it a little bit less aggressive, I would say. So if we reduce maybe the transparency and everything and keep, so in general it would look like this. So it would just be one high one. And as soon as we start scrolling, it would create this line underneath of it. As I said, there would be at the start, okay. Yeah, so even here we could maybe a less distractive way. So that would look like this then. So if as soon as we scroll, at least we have this little divider between the stuff. Yeah. So my idea actually is that we have this part. Yeah, I don't know. It will be a challenge in the future, and we could make a divider. I don't know, a divider is always so strong. We have really a stroke, for example, on the bottom. 100. Something like that. Nah. Now I did something wrong. Up. Just here, a stroke. Hide it. Nah. The problem with that is it looks very empty at the first screen. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure with that yet, but maybe we have a good idea in the future. So I keep the shadow for now and make our navigation bar visible as soon as we scroll. Go for it. And then we have an option here, which looks quite nice, I think. Okay. Oh, our servers don't work. Ah, I don't know if this works now. You said there is a bug, Stefan, so let's try it anyway. We would create this service, would open up this guy again while hovering. Oh, someone subscribed to our channel. Hey, Vajit, nice to see you. Welcome to our channel. To drop down services, manual, we keep it where it is, like, whoops, no, I missed it, no, it's gone forever. Here, prototype, service, drop down, here it is. So on hovering, navigate, open overlay, manual, bring this guy down here. Chip. That works. Fantastic. Go. Scroll. Looks beautiful. I hover and we have it in the face. Figma versus XD. Yes. That was wrong, I think. Huh? Did I create 2 hoverings on that thing now? So service has a drop down. No worries, Papadon, enjoy it. I hear your girlfriend is very important to you, so that is okay. I really, I think that is okay. I will understand it. Great, so save, go. At the moment, I would really recommend Figma. It is better in nearly all belongings, and it does exactly the same. This is your first live stream, Garflex. So your first live stream ever, or just at my channel? And XD versus Figma, yeah. So Figma. Invasion, yeah. That was the website. That was what I'm searched actually. So what is the name? Invasion. Is it quite stable? No, it's not. Flutter Web is better, and we really should be aware of that, because it really is better, but that's no problem. Ah, that's also nice, yeah. But first cookie. Okay, so they do a different approach, right? They change their color, so it is really a flashy effect here to navigate. But also they have a sharp border between these things. That's interesting. But also with a shadow, I see it right now. So there, if it's on, that's cool. So if I scroll up, the shadow appears, and if I scroll down, it disappears. I don't know if you can see that, but let's scroll a little bit in. So if I scroll up, you see there is a shadow. If I scroll down, it's away. I don't know why, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You can also make both designs. I think also the export function from Adobe XD is sometimes a little bit better. It's a second navbar fix to the scrolling page. All right, so we did quite something today, and I don't want to be too quiet. If I'm navigating here, that looks good. We have made this possible. We have created an idea on how our site should be structured. So if I select this guy and I hide these, something like that. I could also remove the rulers for now. So this is of course just a mock-up. We can fill it with live, but it looks already quite solutionary, I think. Something that we would like to do. Mahtab is quite well. She's a bit under pressure at the moment because of the whole work that she does. So yeah, that's why we currently make slow on videos. For example, this week most likely will be just one. We will fight on that, but I don't know how good we are there at the moment. It's a second navbar fix to the scrolling page. Ah, all right, that would make sense. Yeah, what I could imagine that we have just an attribute that we add to the Flutter widget later. At least this is my plan. Okay, so I think we made quite an improvement here and improved our website. And I think that would be a good point where we can stop for now. We learned a lot of Figma. Thank you so much. This was our first 2 hours. I hope the next time we can make a little bit more live stream. As I already told you, this week most likely will be only one video. I don't know if we keep that up, and yeah, we have to take a look there. Great that you helped me so much, Stefan. Thank you everyone who helps me here, also AKS, with all your ideas. I really appreciate that. And if you have some recommendation how we can improve that stream even further, because at the moment I see in the screen that I'm always watching here, which is the stream. So what I want to try is to bring the chat on the other side so that I can read it easier. And yeah, so thank you so much for working today. It was a fantastic session. Do you have any last questions before we move off? Yep, I will take a look into dark. No worries. If it's so important to you, Papa, I will do it. Fantastic. All right, so see ya, guys. Till the next